Good morning, it's Kale. I'm doing a recording today of my cross stitch project, Once Upon a Fairy Tale, and it's a heaven and earth design pattern. That's where I bought the pattern from. If you've been here before, you've seen kind of it progress, and I'm just going to do some work on it today while I can. See how long I can keep the puppers quiet. I don't have the puppy cam on today because I'm actually using the camera that I had set up for that for the cross stitch, so didn't want to do too much finagling on that since I'm dealing with those back spasms. So let's see here. I've got the wiggly wobbly stand still. Hubby hasn't had any chance to make me an actual stand for my frame, so I'm dealing with it. So I'm actually not out in the living room, which is normally kind of where I cross stitch. I am in my office, so I can be, you know, with my desktop and so on, and not be streaming or recording from my laptop. So since this thing is so wobbly, I actually have it sitting the right hand side over there sitting on the top of the desk, so it'll try and give it a little bit of stability. I did also manage to get Pattern Keeper showing, so that's cool. And then you can kind of see like what I'm working on. So since I am in my office, so like behind me is where I have the thread, so you might hear me like moving around as I change colors. So I'm doing another pass diagonal down this way, and all of these stitches here were where I worked in all of the park threads that I had from my previous pass, because I don't like to get too many of those because they start getting a little frayed on the end. My cat's over at the door staring like, can I come in? And I'm gonna get up and tell her no. Jewel, go away. You can't come in here. There's already enough animals in here. I got the puppies in here. So I don't want to keep like too many park threads because they start getting in the way and it just becomes difficult. So every pass, at the end of the pass, I'm coming down to the shelf that way, going down to the shelf, that first shelf, which you can see on the image over there in the corner. I'm just kind of like just coming down to the shelf, starting up at the top, coming down to the shelf, and just kind of going over until I have to move the fabric on the frame again. So it's a bit of a logistical thing, but that's part of cross stitch. So I have to get used to the fact that Pattern Keeper is actually up on the screen, so that's kind of weird. So and hopefully I don't like knock this thing and whatever. So those are the logistics of what I'm trying to do today. It actually is sunny today, so this color that it's asking for is 400 on that highlighted square that I've got up there. It's actually sunny today after a lot of rain, so I'm really happy about that, because it just, like, my energy level is much lower when I have like days and days and days in a row when it's cloudy. I think I do have some of that seasonal whatever affective disorder or whatever, but I've kind of been like that my entire life. I just don't like a lot of cloudy days in a row. I don't mind, you know, maybe one or two, but once it starts going past that, I'm just like over it. It's like, oh my God, I need the sun. I need light. Okay, so this is just a little bit of 400 that I have here. I'll try and get it threaded. Now, as an older cross stitcher, I do have to deal with eyesight issues. So, you know, threading the needle, seeing the thread ends, all that kind of stuff. Reading the pattern. Yeah. I was going to do a live stream, but I'll go ahead and just do a recording. Okay, so my tendency is to want to go look up at my desktop at Streamlabs, at Pattern Keeper up there instead of on the tablet. So just bear with me while I deal with this. Kind of getting used to things. It's always interesting when your brain has to work on adjusting and adapting. I think it is one of the great strengths of humanity, of human beings, that we can do that. And we should encourage it and foster it, that ability to adapt. Okay, so what I'm going to do here, if I can get this in there, I don't know if that's in the right spot. Let's come up from the top. Oh my gosh. What is in the way there? Okay. I'm going to go ahead and do these 3, even though they're in the next square, because there's only 3 of them. So lately I've been doing more crochet and cross stitch. Done some diamond painting. If you catch my other videos, I did a coloring one where I'm trying to finish up one of those, I think it's Fairy Miracles pages, and working on my Aquarius. Okay, so that's 3. I don't think there are any more in the area. So I'm going to go ahead and just finish up this short thread, if I can get it in there. My favorite knot thing to do, pin stitching. I always like trying to figure out where to end it. Okay. Then I've got my little thread catcher where I put my little trash, my thread trash in there. Got that on Amazon. Okay, so let's go ahead and we'll mark that one. Oh, why did I do that? Mark those done. And I'm up to 16,101 stitches. So, pretty cool. Okay, the next one is 780. So I've got 3 of these little cases. I want to order an actual like shelf unit, like an actual shelf unit that has the little drawers, almost like a bead organizer or something that you would use for like different like bolts and nuts and washers or whatever, but they just like that has the little drawers that slide out, and that's where I want to put all of the colors that I'm not using for this project. And then that way it'll just be easier to find the colors, because I've got like all the colors in here. And so it just takes me a little bit to just find what I'm looking for. Just always trying to kind of make things easier so that the process is more enjoyable. I'm a big proponent of making things functional and efficient and practical. My kids would probably be able to tell you that. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and just kind of wrap that up like that. Put that down. And prep this one. So my hubby asked me to order some probiotic, prebiotic stuff for the pups. Because Misty's been kind of like reaching back for her rear. And I was like, what's going on back there? And then I want to make an appointment at the vet for her just to make sure she's okay. Because she's a puppy. Now the problem is that she's a little on the chubby side. She's got that baby fat. And she can't really reach back there and get her little butt. Actually, I'm going to put some tunes on. So quiet. The dogs like it too. Let's see here. Let's put, let's play that. Let me turn it up a little. Put it up in Streamlabs, Jen. Turn it up a little bit. Hopefully it's not too loud. So, since I didn't want to pay for Spotify, at least until the channel like gets monetized, if it ever does, I did find this channel. Well, there's actually a few copyright free music on YouTube. So I just have it like not, you know, coming through like an app or anything, just coming straight off of the computer. So let's see here. I've got 3 more here, and I've got a couple over here. But I don't think there's that color anywhere else nearby that I'm aware of. So I might just do this whole color here, just to save time. Because I'm telling you, man, changing colors is like a time killer. You gotta find the color, pull off a piece, cut it, and then get it started. Do that color, then finish it. Take it off the needle. Get the next color. And it can just take a lot of time to be changing colors. A lot. And this particular piece is ridiculous for that. I don't know what made me pick such a hard one to do. Like, am I crazy? I lost my mind. I don't know if I would say that it's hard. Come on, get in there. It's time consuming. Where is that coming from? Push that down. Wait, hold on. Okay, whatever you're, maybe what I'll do is I'll just cut it carefully. There. That's a little better. There we go. Next, let's mark those done. And now that I did that, I'm going to cut this little green right here. It's sticking out. I'll try and cut it without cutting anything else. Goodness gracious. Alright, now, so I'm trying to finish that square. So I've got this color next, and then the W, whatever. W is 301, so let's put 780 back. Oh, I hit the thing. That's great. 780. It goes behind 779. And then, Jewel, go away. You don't need anything right now. You're fine. You're gonna make the dogs bark. No, go away. Hold on just a sec. Go. Go, 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 go. Oh my gosh. The dogs have these little, I guess they're not, I don't know if they're rawhide. Oh my gosh, whatever. They're, hooves. These little hoof things. Goodness gracious, cat. And, they're on the floor everywhere. I just kicked one. That's the noise you heard. I just kicked it as I walked out the room. Yeah, I've stepped on them so many times barefoot. It's torture. It's as bad as stepping on like a Lego. And it's like, but it gives them something to chew on, and the baby is like super teething. So, thanks, Jewel, for interrupting me. I think she wants me to feed her. She wants to eat all the time. So we used to give her soft food, but I stopped doing that because she kept barfing it up. Okay. Oh my gosh. So one of the things about retiring is that you're home during the day and you just get bugged all the time by your animals. She's really actually more my hubby's cat than mine. I've had cats since I was very young, probably like around 11 or so. But as I've gotten older, I'm just, for some reason, just not as into them anymore. And I don't know why. But I just, I don't dislike them. I mean, I love Jewel and everything, but I'm just like not into it. Here we go with another color change because I don't see that color anywhere around here. So I'm going to come back out here. It's funny how when you get older, things just start changing. All sorts of things. So when you're a woman, you have to go through pre-menopause, and then menopause, and then post-menopause. So you have all those lovely things to experience. Put that down just a tad. And then, you know, your kids grow up. And then you're left just alone, or you and your spouse are left alone. See, we're looking for 832. And then you come to the point where you stop working at a like regular job. Get out of the corporate slavery mode. Ugh, can't stand corporations. I'm like very anti-corporation in many ways. I mean, I understand why they kind of need to exist. You know, they give people jobs or whatever, but I really dislike their policies, the way they treat people, and their lies, where they're like, we care about our employees. You can come talk to your manager anytime. There won't be any repercussions. And then like you go and you like start talking about how, you know, this is wrong and this isn't working right and whatever, and then they like fire you. It's like, oh my gosh. Or they play favorites and they give certain people decent raises and other people not decent raises even though they work the same or better. It's just terrible. And how they just ruin the environment without really caring, or do a half-assed job caring. Okay, so this one is the end of this first row. Sometimes while I'm looking at this pattern, my eyes just go googly. I'm like, where am I? I have no idea. Where's the square? Somebody help me. Okay, so that was just the two of those. I mean, some corporations are better than others, but their primary goal is not, you know, civic duty or whatever. It's to make money. I'm going to wrap this back around here like that. So I ordered new labels for these. So this is just written in pencil. It's like kind of like cheesy. But I ordered some new labels. So hopefully it'll be here tomorrow. And then I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to split my 3 boxes, my 3 little cases, and put this project that I'm working on. I'm sorry I'm making all this noise in the background. That's me moving around and trying to put this away. And then that way I'll put the other ones that I'm not using, you know, away. So I just maybe will only end up with maybe one or two. 722. That's this one. So I've got paper bobbins, I've got plastic bobbins, I've got some that are written in pen, some that are written in pencil, some that have labels on them. It's just a mess. And that is just not my style. It's like totally non-OCD Daphne Kale, you know. It's like, just, what are you doing? So I want to fix that. Now my diamond painting drills are pretty organized and they're all labeled and everything. But I just hadn't gotten around to dealing with my floss. I mean, this is in pen. This is in pen. Like, okay. Okay. So I think later on this afternoon, I'm going to do some house cleaning. Oh joy. Don't we all just love doing that? Yeah, and that's another thing that's changed as I've gotten older. I just don't feel like doing it anymore. Like, I don't care. I don't care if it's dusty. It's just me and hubby. I mean, who's looking at it, right? Who's touching it? So I just do my rounds. I'll go like room by room and you know, do the thing. But there's no way that I would clean my entire house in one day. too much to do, too much work, too tiring, and too irritating. So what I'll normally do is like do the kitchen one day, and then the next day do the living room, sunroom, office, bedrooms, bathroom. And then I know that we want to do some major stuff out in the garage and really like clean it up. Okay, so this line is right here. Okay. And that color is nowhere else. Of course. Because, you know, it just couldn't have any color blocking in this. Although I did do a little bit yesterday with the black. Do I know what I'm doing here? So here, I did this yesterday. Yesterday or no, maybe the day before. The day before yesterday. And that's like one of the biggest blocks of color that I've seen here. There's some here. So what I'm going to do is put this back on here. So let's see, so house cleaning, something you kind of just don't worry about as much when you get older. Your health is something that changes. Like you just don't have the same physical endurance that you do when you're younger. It's kind of a bummer. Okay, so this square there, I can't show it, is done. So let's move this down this way. So we've got a lot of black. Is that square with the circle, the black square with the circle in it? That's black. So I think what I'll do is do everything else first and then come back and do all the black. So let's look for 550. That's just one of my favorite colors, purple. Maybe today, since it's sunny, I can do my little studio tour and update that, because the whole thing has changed a lot and it's sunny, so there's good light mostly coming in. And then do my cleaning. What else do I not care about anymore? Not care about, but just not interested in partying. Not that I was ever a really big partier. I never really liked being around a lot of people. I mean, going to concerts was fun in one way because I liked the band, but I hated being around all those people. Especially people that were like drunk. Ugh. Get away from me. Then on the 4th of July we would go down, since I grew up outside of DC, we would go down to DC to see the national fireworks down at the mall. Oh my God, so many people. It was torture. Okay, so we're down over here. Let my eyes adjust what I got going on there. So here. And so I still don't like being around a lot of people. I don't mind it for a little bit. Like, we'll go down to the 4th of July parade in our town. Watch that. There's a bunch of people. That's not too bad. You know, or go out and watch the fireworks later that night. But for the most part, I'm not a fan of being around a lot of people. No, I don't think that goes there. Well, actually it does. Well, no. I think it does, but let me do this other one first. This one here. No, that doesn't make any sense. It's under the other one. Oh goodness, don't do it in the wrong spot. Get in there. And then these two here. Let's see what else. So yeah, so I'm less interested in driving. I'm a lot quieter. I mean, I can still talk up a storm, probably drive my husband insane. But I don't have any friends, so I don't have anybody like to talk to. So sometimes I'll get a little talkative, but you know, like, I used to be more active online and forums and things like that, you know, giving my thoughts or this, that, or the other, and now I'm just like, I think about it, and I'm like, I see things on X, whatever, Twitter, I'm like, I should say something, or I want to give my opinion on that, and then I'm like, sometimes I'll just put a simple response, you know, like I'll say no, or, you know, trash, or whatever, something like that. But I don't really like long like texting, typing discussions anymore. Okay, so that's all of those in that square. So what I'm going to do is, there's one here. I'll park this right there. So let's mark that. And we'll mark this one as parked. Let's do this. That's 208. I'm trying to remember. The other thing I need to do is take the, it's another purple. Let's take the thread that I have on those floss drops, and I'm going to take it off and put them on bobbins. I just really don't like it. It doesn't work for me. It may work for other people. It just doesn't work for me. Okay, this is 208, another pretty purple. I don't think there's, let me look at the picture. I don't think there's a lot of this color in this area, so I'm not going to make the thread too long. Usually what I do is I just like fold it in half, like that. Then bring the ends together Doesn't have to be exact, and then just rewrap it on the bobbin. Tuck it in. This one's a raggy one. It's old. It's written in pencil. So I think all the ones that are written in pencil are the oldest threads. And then the ones with the pen, and then the ones with the actual printed label. There's a few of those, not many. So I've had some of these threads for a long time. Okay. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing if my hubby can make me a new frame. So I need to also, well, it needs to be stable. Like, I want it to hold this thing, the actual frame, make me a stand, hold the frame stable. That's one thing. And then it also needs to be adjustable on the height, because what I had to do today is lower my office chair, because this particular stand that the frame is on only goes up so high. And I'm like, I can't cross stitch at this height. What am I doing? You know, I need to lower the seat, and so then of course I'm lower at the desk. It's not one thing, it's something else. So yeah, so it needs to be adjustable on the height, it needs to be stable, it needs to hold the Q-snap tight without it shifting and wobbling and all that jazz. What else? And then it needs to fit here in this space, in the U of my desk. It needs to fit in here so I can sit here on my office chair and have the stand in front of me so the camera can reach it. Okay, so that's that. So let's go ahead and finish this one off, pin stitch it. Try to pin stitch it. So I got this little thread needle minder thing. It's like an apothecary like armoire cabinet or whatever. I wish it was a little bit more delineated or lighter. You kind of can see the little bottles and the little door right there. It's a little dark down here, but it's still cute. Okay, so next in the square is this 8. I call it the 8 ball, and that's 823. It's a dark blue. I've used that color quite a bit, you know, like up in the top here. It's like a dark navy blue, maybe. So if you work a project, a big one like this, long enough, you start to remember the thread colors and their number. So you can see this one here This is a printed one. I think it's on there with like a piece of tape. I see clear behind there. Oh gosh. I probably like typed it up on a piece of paper a long time ago. Printed it out, cut it. Sad. I can do better. So let's see, what else happens when you get older? I know I talk about that quite a bit, but it's important. Like, I don't think younger people really understand how your life changes when you age. And I don't mean 40s and 50s. I'm talking like once you get in your 60s, it's a lot different. Your worldview is a lot different. You start really realizing how many years have passed since you were young, you know, young. And if you're retired, you have more time to think and reflect and remember both good and bad things. You know, things you might want to change about your personality. Still, there's always room for growth. Not really searching for perfection, but growth. That adaptation that I mentioned earlier. Adapting to the way the world has changed. The world has changed a lot since I was young. A lot. And a lot of that change, it just makes me sad. So part of also, and then, you know, you lose people in your life as you grow older. Your parents, in my case, my son. Relationships break apart where you're distant from other family members, like my daughter's in England and I'm in the US. You know, just a lot of change, and so a lot of that change makes you sad. Just makes you sad. I mean, my husband's going through the same thing. You know, girls don't come over. One stopped talking to us for whatever reason. You know, it's just sad. And, you know, it's a struggle every day to not let that sadness ruin your day. Okay, I think that was all of the non-black. So you can see all that black there goes into this square here in this one. So we'll go and we'll work with this park thread here. You know, and as you age and, you know, those losses pile up, you know, you miss the people that are gone. I don't really miss like being at work, although I do miss occasionally talking with my boss. He was a nice person. I was lucky to have a nice boss. Okay, so here I got to make a decision. So all of this down here is black, and all of this here, for the most part, is black. So what I think I'm going to do, since this particular thread isn't very long, just come down this section and fill this in as much as I can, instead of crossing over all of these threads here. I mean, I noticed that even like in the past, I don't know, half a year, maybe 4 months. I don't even talk as much to my dogs as I did before. I'm just quieter. I mean, I'm not going to have a long discussion with them about life. They would listen, though. They'll come and sit by me and listen to Mom chattering away, but you know, it's just not the same. Now, in my younger years, I never had like a bunch of friends. I never ran with a circle of girls except for when I was like in 7th grade, 6th, 7th grade. And then I changed schools and that all kind of went away. And after that, I was never in like a gang or group of people, girls or guys. At the most, I'd have, you know, 1 or 2 friends at a time. I only have one long-term friend. She's back in Maryland, but we don't talk very often. Her life's much different. You know, and a lot of the times I'm just like, you just can't go back, you know. It can't be the same way that it was. And she has her own group of friends, her own relationship. You know, just kind of the way it is. Like even my sister, I don't talk to her. We're so different. Yeah, it's not a sharing kind of relationship. It's just a sister relationship. I guess that's one thing that makes a relationship kind of stand out from a kind of standard relationship is your ability to share. It's a sharing thing. So say, like when my mom was alive, I could share with her, hey, look at this diamond painting I'm working on. Look at this, you know, crochet blanket I made. Look, I made you a little crochet blanket for when you sit on the couch. You know, like sharing. It's not necessarily like to talk. Like let's have a discussion about the differences between, say, like Republicans and Democrats, you know, like, or, you know, what's the difference between a regular Christian and a fundamentalist Christian. Like I didn't want to have those kind of like discussions with her, but I wanted to share with her, like share my life with her. You know, hey, I went to Chambers and I bought, you know, a bunch of plants and look how my yard looks now. Look at all the flowers, you know, that kind of stuff. And she would share her, you know, painting and her little crafts that she was doing. And she showed me like a pot that she had for her plants inside and she had hanging, and she put little stickers and decorations on it, stuff like that. So it's a lot of just like sharing, and I wanted to be able to do that with my daughter, but you know, we're not like that with each other, not really. When my son was alive, there was some sharing, of course, you know, with his stupid addiction. That was awful. It was very difficult for any of that to remain constant, but we shared music that we liked. So we were both on SoundCloud, and of course he was writing his own music, and he would share his new music with me or another group or whatever producer that he heard that he liked. He had a little playlist for me. It's like playlist for mom. And then I would make a playlist for him. So I'm like, listen to these, you know, it's pretty cool. And listen to the drop on that song or whatever, right? Or the outro is really good. So it was basically, it's like as you're sharing your life with someone, you want them to see what you're doing, what you're experiencing. You're sharing your life experience. And when you're involved with somebody in a relationship and they're not like really into like sharing their life, then it's just more superficial. The relationship is still there, you know, technically, like let's say like my sister. Like I have a relationship with my sister, but it's a technical relationship. Like she is technically my sister, but we don't share our lives with each other. And I don't think it's like intentional, it's just kind of the way it ended up. I mean, I actually managed to finish this section with this tiny little bit of thread. Woo-hoo. Thread chicken. And what I'm going to do is I'm not going to pin stitch this one. I'm just going to kind of bring it up over here. Ooh. And just make a little tail sticking out, and it'll get covered over when I do these other black stitches there. You know, and I never really thought about, can you work for me here? Why some relationships are better than others. And I think that level of sharing has something to do with it. All those are done. I mean, you can't really have an intimate, and I don't mean sexual intimacy, I mean an intimate relationship with somebody, just a closeness, a bonding with somebody, if you don't share your life with them. If they're not interested in your life and what you're doing and what you're feeling, and you're not really interested in what they're doing and what they're feeling, it's just not going to be an intimate relationship. You may still be related, you know, either if you want to be friends with your coworker, that's up to you, but a coworker, a family member, an extended family member, you know, whatever. Yeah, I mean, it's your choice. See, I have some more black here. You see how long I've been going? Almost an hour. I'll do a little bit more black here. Maybe I can finish that square. I don't know if people have intimate, non-sexual, I mean, just intimate sharing relationships. I don't know if that happens as much as it used to. I mean, just people, families being, you know, distant from each other when it didn't used to be that way. Normally families live, for the most part, fairly close to each other, so you could visit and hang out and do cookouts and whatnot. Share holidays and so on and so forth. That used to happen a lot more. I don't know. I guess maybe with cell phones, you just kind of send a text message. Hi, everything okay? Yeah, it's okay. All right, talk to you later. Bye. And that's that. You know, it's kind of more. I mean, I don't know how anybody can have a decent conversation through text messages. I just can't do it. I can't do it. I mean, you know, I worked in an office for most of my life. And the last thing I feel like doing is typing to somebody, because that's what texting is. You're typing on a phone. You know, typing a conversation with somebody. It's like, can you just call? Like, it is a phone. It does make calls. It's not a typing machine. It's a phone. So yeah, so that's like a big pet peeve of mine. I just can't stand it. Okay, so here's another thing. Do I want to just do these two all the way down and then leave this square? Because that'll bring me probably at the right time for the vid. I still have to, after this, is add the intro and the outro, do the little editing, do the thumbnail. I changed my thumbnails. I made them simpler. Still trying to, I like this style more. Trying to find the right style for the channel. My brother's busy changing my web hoster and moving my site. And then I can get back to that. You know, I've always thought that life is amazing. It really is amazing. This planet is just a trip. I mean, we have birds. We have flowers. We can walk around outside and breathe. got sunshine and beaches and lakes and just cool things that people have invented, like music, art. It's just really rather amazing. I just wish it was in a better state. Now, there are times when I was really suffering from my depression where I hated the world. It was awful. I hate people. I hate myself. Look at all this pollution, all these cars, this noise, this psychic pollution. People killing each other, la la la, like just corrupt politicians, corrupt religious figures. I mean, just corruption. I get so upset. I'm just so depressed. It's depressing. Now, it still can be depressing, but now I have control over that and just don't let it become overwhelming. And it took a long time to be able to do that because at heart, I'm an idealist. I mean, I believe that the human race, should it manage to evolve out of the animal state that it's in, if we can evolve, we could do great things, greater things. You know, people should be able to live together in peace. Nobody should be worried about getting hurt or robbed or whatever, right? It should be peaceful, and it should be sharing, and it should be loving and kind. All those idealistic tendencies that I tend to have, and that I always have to like kind of keep in check, because it's just not the way the world is right now. I mean, it might be here and there, but I don't think I'm supposed to do that one. I was just going down, la la la. Let me take that out of there. Okay, so you know, so it's a tricky balance for somebody who's an idealist to see the reality and you know, kind of like pare down your expectations. And it's a shame because it doesn't. No, let's do that. I'm looking at the other one. Because it doesn't have to be the way it is. Life on this planet does not have to be the way it is. We're the ones that make it that way. Now, I will say that mostly it's the, you know, the bad apples that do that. Normal people don't go around hurting other people. Not like that. Not like in a criminal, evil way. I'm going to park this. I could park it like down below here. Let me think about it. If I bring it up here, it's not going to be really long enough to do all this. Because that would be like a new thread. So I think I will just park it down here. Underneath that other one that I just did. Right there. So I don't know, maybe one of these days we'll make it better. Maybe. How many have I done today? 97, almost 100. So let's see, this one is done. So because I sewed in those park threads from my previous pass, a lot of these squares are, you know, halfway or mostly done. So I'm coming down here. There's this one, like this one here. Here has some. And this one, and then I'll do this one, and then this one. And then this one, right? This is a bunch of black right here, some color blocking. So let's make that a little smaller so you can see where I'm at. Alright, so this up here is the upper corner. I'm just working my way down. There's quite a bit of black in this area. I wonder if it would be a good idea to just like do all that black first. I mean, look how much there is. Where's the shelf? Oh, it's down here. So there's the shelf, that dark line down there. Right, that's the shelf. This thing over here, up on Pattern Keeper there, it looks kind of like a triangle, like a pyramid. That is, I think that's this arch. Let me see here. Let me see if I can make this bigger. Oh, wait, hold on. Let me bring it in front of Pattern Keeper. So I think that triangular area is this right here. It's that arch. Okay, so go back down underneath here. Right, I think that's that arch right there. And then the shelf. And then I've got all this black, which is what? Move up. Maybe this here and this here. Around this, whatever that is. I think it's a rock. Or like a castle wall thing. Well, it's like a castle wall thing, and it's got like a, looks like a little Babylonian statue thing there, Mesopotamian, Assyrian statue right there. I kind of wish they had done a different color there so it would stand out a little bit more, because it's kind of the same color as the stone, the castle wall or whatever in the background. I don't know if I can make it any lighter. I would have to figure out like a color substitute. Bigger. Let me see if I can get it bigger. So this right here, where my mouse, my hand mouse is, if you can see that. I don't know if you can see it or not, but up there. So yeah, maybe that's what I'll do, is I'll just do a lot of that black, fill that in, and then that way it might be easier to do some of this other, these other colors around here. There's a color block here, this right here. I did those there. Oh no, wait a minute, hold on. Get the color, get the color. That's like finishing up like a lot of those two squares there. And then I've got the black there. So that might be a plan. It's a little bit different than the you know, kind of like diagonal pass that I'm doing, but it might be better. It's kind of nice to just do it a different way, not do it the same way each time. It's kind of why I sew in these threads here, these part threads after a while, because it's just like kind of give it a break from doing this diagonal thing. So anyhow, I think that's where I'll stop for the day. Oh gosh, this thing makes so much noise when you move it. I gotta talk to hubby. I gotta make an appointment with my hubby to make me a frame stand for my cross stitch. Mainly the thing that's going to be the hard part, let me move this up, I'll show you, is going to be the clamp part, the part that actually holds the frame to the stand. Yeah, because that's, even though I've got it like as tight as it will go, and I'm afraid I would literally like crack the Q-snap if I tightened it anymore, and you can see the Q-snap's like back over here. Yeah, I mean, I just like this, I'm not left-handed, this right here just can't go any tighter. But if you take this off of the desk where it's holding, you can see how it just drops from the weight, because this is a big pattern. It's I don't even know, I mean, it's like, you know, 402,000 stitches, so it's a big piece of fabric. So the weight of this fabric here that's all folded up over here is just weighing this Q-snap down. So even though I have it as tight as it will go, it just drops down. So that's why I had it on the desk. So if I just kind of scoot it over here and just kind of set it up on the desk, it won't like fall down, it'll just stay there. But I mean, seriously, like, who wants to do that? Who wants to be dealing with that? And it's still, you know, more wobbly than I would like it to be. So hopefully I can, maybe hubby can do that this weekend for me. Would be nice. I would love it. It's like, please do it, please. I'll cook dinner for you. I'll make you a cake. I'll give you dessert. I'll give you sugar. He likes ice cream with cake. Yeah, so anyhow, this is where I'm going to end up for the day. I got a couple of squares done. Of course, cross stitch is not a fast moving hobby, so you do a little bit at a time. I've done 97 stitches, so I'm up to what does it say, 4.03%. So at least I moved into the 4% instead, got out of the 3%. That's cool. So I'm gonna go do something else. What I say I was gonna do, clean the kitchen, and maybe work on sewing in the ends on my crochet project that I'm working on. The chrysalis, however you say it, throw by Jen Tyler, and put that down there like that, and just see how the afternoon goes. We got to get out back and mow and kind of clean up after all this rain and whatever, but that's not going to be any fun because it's very humid outside. So anyhow, thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, and turn on the notification bell. Probably the next stream I'm going to do, the next live stream, probably be maybe some gameplay over on Gaming with Kale. I don't know, you know, if people are interested in watching me game or not. Maybe it's boring. It could be boring. I might just ask a question over there. I only have like a few subscribers because most of the people are subscribed to this channel here, to Celestial Realms. That's fine. It's not a big deal. And then in my rotation here, I don't think it'd probably take me another day or two to finish sewing in all those ends, because there's a lot of ends before I get to the next part of that crochet project. But maybe when I finish sewing in the ends, I'll do a little crochet stream so you guys can watch me crochet. And then if people like it enough, I can incorporate that into my rotation. And I know YouTube hates all that. YouTube is like, what is this woman doing? She's not just doing one thing. You know, she's not just making peanut butter and jam sandwiches. She's making ham and, you know, tuna and chicken. Like, they're probably like, what's going on? But I don't believe in being such a specialist that that you can't do more than one thing. And that's just the way I am. I always felt that not necessarily being a generalist, but being able to do many things or several things or whatever well and enjoying them is not a problem. You know, you can have more than one hobby. You can, you know, travel to more than one place. Like, what are you going to do? Do your videos only on your town? Like, that would, for here, it would probably be boring. It's like, let me take you down this street now. Let me take you down this street now. Oh, here's our 4th of July parade. And after a while, it would be like, okay, we've seen all of your town. So, you know, what about the town next to yours? So I think that my channel reflects myself. And I'm not going to try and make it be other than what it is. And I'm not going to pretend to be other than I am. I like diamond painting. I like cross stitch. I like coloring in my coloring books. I like crochet. I talk about different subjects. And if YouTube, you know, their little algorithm crony thing that they got going on just can't get with the program and promote the channel, that's fine. I'm going to keep on, and if you enjoy it, just give it a like and share with your friends or other people who might be interested. I'm good with that. So I know that sounds so, it's like the 60s, 70s hippie rebellion, like, oh, she's such a rebel against the system. But, you know, in a lot of ways I am, because the system can be pretty flawed and can really, like, do you a disservice. So, yeah, I'll leave you with that. Have a great day or a great evening or afternoon, wherever you are, and be kind to yourself, be kind to people, be kind to the world. Hug your dog or cat if you have one. Blow a kiss to your goldfish if you have a goldfish. Smile. Try not to take things too seriously, and appreciate the little things, the small things, the things that you don't normally appreciate. Appreciate those. It'll make your life better. But smiling sure does help a lot. So I'll see you next time. I got a notification there. What the heck? Go away. Bye for now.